Hello, viewers. Hope you can hear me. Can anyone let me know if I'm audible? Yeah. Hello. Guys, can you hear me? Yep. Thanks. So, we'll be starting with the qualifying for race one. So, this is the first race of Cruise Control Cup key kickoff. So, the track is Alsace Village. We have 10 laps around this track. So, I'll be loading the race settings. Okay, so somebody is joining. Uh, okay, so in the meantime, the lobby initializes. I'll tell you the details about this race. So there are 10 laps that the drivers need to do around this track with comfort, soft, medium, and hard tires. All three are compulsory, and each tire needs to be used for at least 3 laps and at most 4 laps. There are penalties regarding that rule as well. So getting into the details of the car, we have four cars as options: the S660, the Copen, the Beat, and the Cappuccino. So all the cars have been balanced. They are pretty close in performance with each other. The race will be pretty low on fuel, like the drivers will be starting with 15 liters of fuel. The tire and fuel multiplier are 1x. So the drivers do not need to refuel. And this is a very straightforward race with the only strategy being when you choose to go on which tires. So the tire wear, the fuel consumption, none of that is going to be an issue for anyone here. And so we have loaded the race setting for the lobby. And now once every driver join, we'll be starting with the qualifying. So letting everyone know. So I'll just confirm the setup for once. Okay. So it is going to be a single lap qualifying. For every driver is only allowed to put a single flying lap. Yeah, it seems all right. Yeah. So now it's correct. The lobby loaded correctly. So let everyone enter. Okay, so let me confirm if darts is a problem and then we'll start. So here we are with our quali. The cars are not allowed to use the slip of each other, so they are building a gap before they get going with their flying lap. So at the head of the pack, we have Vishal Zander in a Suzuki Cappuccino, followed by Dars Motorsport with the Copen, Daihatsu Copen, followed by Galaxy in third place with a McQueen livery on his Cappuccino. Fourth place, we have Makov with a red Honda S660, followed by Pagal Raja in fifth place with a white Honda Beat. So this is the first Honda Beat we see, followed by Ancient Flame in sixth place in the Copen. We have Avik in seventh place in his own Honda Beat, followed by Rahul in P8 with another Daihatsu Copen, with Pianshu bringing the back of the grid in his Daihatsu Copen. So the cars are well balanced. We have set custom BOP so that the cars are very close to each other in performance. The BOP could not be applied for this race because it resets the car to their default setting. So we don't want that. We have some upgrades for a few of the cars to make them perform equally with the others. So Vishal is starting his first flying lap. Let's see how it goes. So carrying a lot of speed to the first corner, not braking too much. Then he's taking a sharp line to the first straight towards the second turn, which is immediately followed by the third one, which is a decent hairpin. So the thing about these cars is because of the soft suspension and comfort tires, they tend to slide or even oversteer a bit here. As you can see, a power slide on the Cappuccino, carrying a lot of speed, very good pace through here for the soft tires. So coming up to this place, let's see what times he does. So a 58.8, that's a pretty fast time in the first sector. Taking the apex very well, going wide to maximize exit speed. So there is an interesting thing to notice about this car. So you need to short shift this car and short shift a lot because the high end torque of Cappuccino as well as the Copen is very low and the power output falls sharply after a set band. So they are short shifting the car to extract maximum pace from them. So going on to the end of the second sector, it was flat all the way from the left-hander. A 51.5, a very nice pace. You want to brake late for this corner but not too late or you'll miss the apex. Again carrying a superb amount of speed. Up the hill, taking a wide line to not get too badly affected by the uphill. Again shifting to the fourth early on. Now this is a very sketchy braking zone, especially if your car is heavy on the rear. A slight slide, maybe a little more than what he would have wanted. Going to the run up to the finish line. Seems like a good lap. A 44 flat. So maybe the other guys will be able to overhaul this time. Let's see what the other guys have got for us. So Tars did a 2 minute 46. Galaxy going to the top of the board with a 42.9. That's a very impressive time. Followed by Makov setting a 243.6. Pleb has set a 244.09. That's also a very nice time. We have a week in P6 setting at 247.1. Maybe he might have expected a lot better time. Same with Pagar Radha setting a 247.7. Where does Pianshu goes? Pianshu goes P6. So here are the results. Galaxy with a 242.9, Makov with a 243.6, 7/10 of Galaxy. So Galaxy is flying, at least in the quali. Vishal is P3 with the Cappuccino, setting a 244.0. Ancient Pleb with a 244.0 as well. Just a hundredth of a second between them. Rahul has set a 244.2. Piancho has set a 245.7. Dars in P7 has set a 246.3. And a week at P8 has set a 247.1. Moving on, we have Pagal Raja at the back of the grid with a 247.7. About 4.5 second behind the leader. So that's not a really the pace he would have wanted to set, the flow he would have wanted to set for the race. So letting the drivers know that the race is starting soon. So it's like no one wants a break. So let's start the race. Okay, so it's a standing start without false start check. Let's see what kind of start these guys get. So Galaxy gets a nice launch from the start. So he has... Wait, Makov is falling down the grid. He has gone last, so... Is he trying to do something here? Is he on auto drive? No. So he wanted to try last to first, I think. Let's see what he does. Moving on ahead. So Pleb is already 2.2 seconds behind Galaxy. And Galaxy is like 2.4 seconds, 2.2 still. So we are seeing a bit of argy-bargy between Rahul and Xander. Pleb has gone wide. So with how big of a delta Galaxy has built up, it seems that he is on the softer compounds compared to others. We still don't know what tire he is on. So Rahul is putting a lot of pressure on Pleb, followed by Vishal and Pagal Raja. And Pleb goes wide. Was it his intention to let Rahul go? Maybe. Rahul might be on the faster compound. Galaxy is already 4.5 seconds ahead of the pack. So at this point I'm certain that he's on a different compound of tire. Going back as we see, Makov is still at the back of the grid. So he isn't able to make any moves on the cars ahead. Maybe he's on the harder compound, maybe the hardest compound. Meanwhile, Pagal Raja is already up to P6 from the last place, and he's a good ways ahead of SNI Desai and Avik. So it's either he has found his pace or he is clearly on a better compound compared to the rest of the pack, rest of the guys trailing him. Meanwhile, Dars and Xander has not stopped fighting, and Pleb is still with them. Rahul is only 2 seconds ahead of them, and Rahul is catching Galaxy. So it looks like the guys behind were on hards. Rahul seems to be on mediums, but that wouldn't justify Galaxy's pace. Maybe Rahul is on softs and Galaxy is on mediums. So I will not be revealing those data. And Pleb hits the wall, and Pleb compromises his speed. Vishal and Dars both overtake him keenly on the straight. So this was a really unfortunate accident or incident for him. Meanwhile, going side by side through T1 compromised the exit of Xander, and Pleb has made a move on him. Pagal Raja still lurking 2 seconds behind them. And Makov has made a move on Avik. Avik, Makov and Pianshu, the three of them sticking together. Makov with a bit of lag, not a bit, like maybe more than a bit of lag. Trying to stick close, maybe he'll go for the dive, and he goes for it. SNI Desai Lowell gives him enough space and the move is made. But that compromised entry brings Avik into the play, and he is about to make a move on them. Or not. Avik goes to the outside for the next corner with a switchback. So I don't know how good that will be for him, but let's see. Makov slides into the corner entry and he goes wide. Wide by a big margin, and he's still sliding. Now he's back onto the track. Avik, meanwhile, side by side action between the three of them. On the outside, trying to get the apex with their compromised entry. And he does get a good entry, but he's still not able to get past the two of them. Now he goes sharp into the entry. Makov too wide. and Pianshu as well. Both of them on the side of Avik, and Pianshu gets a bump draft from Makov. Makov still on the side of Avik. This will make. Okay, so he slowed down to not compromise his entry and get a sharp exit through here. Meanwhile, Pianshu goes too wide through here and Avik slides. Oh my god, this is so spicy action. Moving ahead, we have Vishal, Xander, Pleb, and Dars sticking together. Dars has built a bit of a gap with Pleb and Vishal. So, this is a superlative pace for him if he is not on a better compound. Meanwhile, Galaxy and Rahul, they are maintaining their gap of between 2 and 3 seconds. So this is definitely soft pace. 2 minute 43 is a soft pace. So the guys in front are on softs. Dars appears to be on soft as well. Meanwhile, Pleb and Vishal, they are on mediums. Pagar Raja also appears to be on mediums, while the back of the grid, the 3 guys are on hards. So we already see 4 distinct packs forming up. One for the hard runners, then Pagar Raja running his lone race, then Vishal, Pleb, and Dars. So Vishal almost made a move on Pleb, but Pleb kept it clean, kept it collected on the outside, and he retains his position. So this track looks beautiful at the twilight period. You see the car's headlight popping on as they traverse the track. So it's a third lap. So the hard runner should most likely be coming to the pits for their set of mediums or softs. They would want to get off from those tires as soon as they can, because hards are like about 10 to 12 seconds slower than the soft. They wouldn't wanna stay a second longer if they can. Vishal still putting the pressure on Pleb. Still staying half a second behind him. And Vishal gets a faster exit, but yeah, he gets a faster exit. He's getting closer to Pleb. And the uphill is probably the strongest point for the Kapushima because of its light body. And yes, he is catching up, getting closer and closer towards the downhill. He should be able to attack here. He is trying to build more pressure on Pleb. No, he doesn't. No, he does. He goes on the dive. And Pleb gives him space. He makes the move. Fabulous move from Vishal. And he goes too wide. Oh my god, that compromised his exit. And Vishal goes into the pits. So he was on mediums. Pleb decides to stick on his tires for one more lap. Pagar Raja was also on mediums. Meanwhile, Makov bringing the back of the pack with him. And he goes into the pits. Vishal comes out on a set of hards. Pianshu also enters the pits. Pagar Raja goes on softs. Avik also goes into the pits. And Makov leaves on mediums. Pianshu also leaves on mediums, and Avik goes on to the softs. So here their strategy diverged. So Avik is keeping the mediums for his last stint. Meanwhile, moving ahead of the pack, Galaxy has increased his gap to 5 seconds from Rahul, and that's a stellar 243 flat. So he is keeping his quali pace, he is delivering that same pace here. But now it's night time and the visibility is limited, but the cars aren't too fast, so it shouldn't be too big of a hurdle for them. They aren't many lights on the track around this circuit. The cars are starting to separate, but we should be seeing a week getting closer to the guys in front. And it's not a matter of how long, it's even a matter of whether within this lap or after this. It should be able to easily make that 2.5 seconds in maybe 3-4 corners, because the delta between the various compounds in comfort category is far more than that of sports and racing tires. So let's see. He already got up to Piaggio in just a matter of one corner when he was 2.5 seconds behind. And he's on a charge, and he makes a move on Piaggio and should be able to stick it even on the outside. The corner seems flat for the medium runners, but still they lose a bit of speed because of greater understeer on the mediums. And his next target seemed to be Makov. Meanwhile, Galaxy goes into the pits after doing 4 laps on soft. So Rahul was also on soft, he's also going into the pits. Dars is also coming into the pits. He was also on softs. Pleb also going into the pits, he was on mediums. So Pleb is either going to do 3 laps on softs, or he is going to get a 10-second penalty for not doing enough lap on hards. So Rahul, Dars and Galaxy is still at the head of the pack. Pleb P4, Vishal P5. And Pagal Raja makes a move on Vishal with his soft tires, the tire advantage. You cannot even defend a lot with these tires. It's like the most you can do is try to stick with them in their slip. And Vishal tries to attack with his slightly greater acceleration than the beat. Or maybe it's because of the slip. Must be. So Pagal Raja decides to defend on the inside. He doesn't want to give the inside to Vishal, who seems to be on the medium, maybe on the hard tires. I forgot. But that would lose him much more time than sticking to the inside himself. Meanwhile, Avik is still 3 seconds behind Makov. So things are not going as fast or as smoothly as we would probably have wished for. Pleb goes wide again. This is the 3rd time we have seen him going wide through that corner. And although the grip reduction off track is set to low, it still gives him dirty tires, which gives him understeer through this corner. Copen, being an FF, suffers greater losses because of that, because the tire sliding also results in lesser power delivery. Meanwhile, Pleb is very close to Pleb oversteers on the entry of the corner. But he gets a really beautiful exit. He has made a move on Dars. Dars is comfortably behind Pleb. So Pleb should be able to build a gap now. Dars was on soft, so he has already lost his fastest tire for this race. So I don't know how much he will be able to do in his race going forward. Maybe he'll be able to retain his position, or maybe the other guys who are at the back will be able to catch up to him. Pleb seems to be on the mediums. Dars might also be on the mediums. Going back, we have Pagal Raja in 5th place, 20 seconds behind Rahul. So Rahul has made a move on Galaxy just now. So Galaxy seems to be on hards and Rahul seems to be on mediums, unless Galaxy made a big mistake to lose his 5 seconds of a lead. So Rahul is building a gap from Galaxy. So it seems like there is tire delta at play here. Pleb goes wide again. So Pleb certainly abusing the fact that track limit penalties have been set to off, since there isn't much you can gain by going off track, but he is certainly trying to capitalize on the corner exits if those are not honest mistakes from him. So this time he keeps it clean from this corner. Only 3 seconds, 2.5 seconds between Galaxy and Pleb. So Pleb is on a charge. It seems like he's on softs, most likely. And he's setting purple times. He's going faster than Galaxy. So since Galaxy was on softs, Pleb also must be on softs, unless he's on mediums and pulling some cheats, the alien thing he does. Pleb should dive on the inside or even try to stick it around the outside, since he's on the faster tire. And yes, he tries to engineer something going wide into the corner to get a very good line through the last corner. And that he does. He cleanly makes a move on Galaxy as we see him going behind him. And he should be able to easily break it. No, Galaxy gets into his slip, trying to stick with him for as long as he can. But you can clearly see how much the difference between the tires are, already losing almost a second in the span of one corner. Cars meanwhile looking at them in his own no man's land. Same for Pagar Raja. Vishal goes into the pits. So is he done with his hard tires? Yes, it seems to be the case. Must be going on to softs now. Yes, he does. So he needs to complete the last 4 laps on softs. And this is his final charge. 40 seconds to catch up Galaxy and Pleb. 30 seconds including the fact that the 3 of them will have to go to the pits. So 30 seconds in 4 laps, 7 seconds a lap. That is a big ask, but the soft tire certainly has what it takes to do that. So Vishal is going to the man look out for. Meanwhile, it looks like Mako is already on the soft tires. He's dead last, only 3 seconds behind Vishal. So it looks like it's between Mako and Vishal to see who catches the leader. Will Mako be able to overhaul Vishal's run? Will he be able to overtake him or not? Let's see. So Pleb is still 3 seconds behind Rahul. And Galaxy is already 5 seconds behind Pleb. Vishal is getting closer and closer to Yanshu. Less than a second separating them, almost half a second. So he must be able to make his move on the first corner, if not even before that. He has already dived on the inside at the last corner, and Pianshu goes into the pits. So doing 4 laps on mediums sounds a bit strange. Okay, so Week has done his run on softs. Now he is going on to the mediums for his final 3 laps. Pianshu goes on to softs, so he must have made a mistake, gone a bit too extra on the mediums. It's still 2.8 seconds, 2.7 seconds separating Makov and Vishal. The gap is very constant between the two of them. And Vishal slides a bit into the corner entry, but it seems all fine. Meanwhile, the gap between the two of them has come down massively. And from the last lap, you can see that Vishal has got over 7 seconds to the leaders. So it's definitely a chance, like 17 seconds, including the fact that they have pit. So Vishal is definitely on a charge. Let's see if he can catch up the leaders. So Galaxy quit the last lap, I believe, and this must be his run on mediums. We'll have to see. Pleb is also getting closer and closer to Rahul. Not by much, but certainly getting closer. Only 2 seconds separating the two of them now. So looks like they quit this lap, and Rahul seems to be struggling with his car. Must be on the hardest compound. And Pleb is catching Rahul hands over fist. And Galaxy makes the move on Pleb on the uphill. And Rahul goes wide. Rahul collides with the barrier. And Galaxy gets a superlative exit. He's going to make a move. Will he be able to stick it around the outside through turn 1? Or Rahul, maybe he overhit the car. Oh, and Rahul and Galaxy collide. Galaxy goes onto the inside and he makes the move. Pleb keeping a watchful eye on Rahul. He definitely must be wanting to make a move on him as soon as possible as well. Just 9 tenths separating the top 3 guys. So the race has come together once again. Rahul trying to dive on the inside of Galaxy. He certainly would brake late just to stick the move, and he goes wide. And Galaxy gets a beautiful switch back. And now he has built a gap which was barely 2 tenths to over a second. Pleb on the other hand is now going to hunt Rahul. So Rahul, where he was fighting for P1, is now P2 at the risk of losing that as well. And Pleb goes on to the inside. He is definitely going to attack here, and attack he does. Sticking it cleanly on the inside, giving the space. 2.5 seconds separating Pleb and Galaxy, and Galaxy seems to be running away rapidly on top of that. Where is Makov and Vishal? So they are barely 14 seconds behind them. They need to catch up 14 seconds in a matter of 1.5 laps. Maybe a big ask, but if someone can pull this off, it's the two of them. So it looks like Galaxy must be on the hards if the gap is this big. Rahul is certainly on the hards and he's struggling quite a bit with his tires. No, Galaxy looks to be on mediums. Fences building such a big gap from Pleb. Vishal still 11 seconds behind Galaxy. Markov still 2 seconds behind Vishal. So Markov is definitely getting closer to Vishal, but at this rate he won't be able to catch up in this last lap. 2 seconds on the same compound is a big ask if Vishal keeps it clean and collected. So Vishal enters the final lap. Rahul, he can definitely dispatch Pleb. That depends on how soon he can dispatch Rahul. And he goes into the back of Rahul. And Rahul goes wide because of that. So maybe an incident report coming. But not much Rahul can do about that. Markov sticking close behind the two of them, ready to pounce. But just notice that the compromised entry on E1 for Vishal has brought Markov within half a second. Oh, and there was a slight door banging between Markov and Rahul. Rahul losing out massively, both because of his slower tires and being on the outside. Markov, meanwhile, almost sniffing Vishal's dinner. He goes onto the outside, getting squeezed wide. Maybe he'll try for a better exit. Yes, he does. Going wide, then trying to go on the inside for this corner and outside for the next. Oh, that was a bit spicy. So if these two guys are fighting among each other, they will not be able to overtake Pleb. And Vishal has a very aggressive entry, but that compromises his exit a bit. Markov, will he be able to stick it on the outside? He tries to, but it's all about whether Vishal gives him the space or not. So he tried to switch over him, but appears that he fails. And they are going 3 wide into this dangerous braking zone, the biggest braking zone of the lap. And Vishal was very aggressive on the brakes. Markov still trying to stick with Vishal. He's running out of time, running out of moves. The Cappuccino is really strong through the uphill, so even if the slip is not able to catch up. But will this corner be where Markov dive? He tries to get a better exit out of the corner for the final straight and it's a drag between the two of them. And it seems like Vishal has it. Vishal saved it. Vishal gets P2. That was a beautiful picture finish. Pleb comes in P4. Rahul P5, 20 seconds behind the leaders. Priyanshu P6. Tars P7 after making a few mistakes and a couple of spins. Avik getting P8. And Pagar Raja, just like his quali finish, coming in last at P10. That was a beautiful race. The next round is tomorrow. I'll be saving the replay to investigate any breaches of rules. So this is the provisional results, as we can see. So Rahul was supposed to be P5 because he's 20 seconds behind the leader, but it is showing that he's P9. That's some glitch, but we have saved the finishing time for all the drivers. Now, depending on how much penalties are applied to each driver, their final standing will be revealed in due time. This is the result we have. All the drivers. That was a very fantastic race. A lot of catching up and overtakings, a lot of trying to defend their places. Sight to behold. Just to confirm, I've saved the replay and I have also taken a note of their finishing times. The result will be declared tomorrow and it will be discussed in the race as well. The standing of each drivers here. So that's it for the broadcast. Thank you for being a spectator and sticking with us for the long 50 minutes for this race. Thank you.